All right, we're here with Tim Grove, women's basketball coach, and you guys start your home season today. A couple days delayed on what it was going to be, what we originally thought. But you guys take on Mayville State tonight, coming off 2 wins. So just kind of talk about where you guys are at this point in the season before tonight's match.
Sure. Yeah, we hated to lose the game the other night. Certainly, anytime you want to get every opportunity you can, particularly before the conference season, to get out there and play and get your team more comfortable with one another and kind of figure out what we're doing. I guess we'll go into Saturday's conference game with only 4 games under our belt, which is the fewest we've ever had in my time here before a conference game. But leading into tonight's game, specifically against Mayville, we're not in a bad position. We're sitting 2-1, and we've played pretty well in stretches, and then there's stretches where we realize we have to do some things better. And I think key for us is our defensive intensity and our rebounding. If we're doing those 2 things, everything else seems to fall into place. We're really sharing the ball well. We're taking good shots, not always making them, but we're sharing the ball well and moving it and getting good shots. And hopefully throughout the season, those can fall more consistently for us, and then we'll have things going on both ends of the floor.
You talked about kind of the balanced scoring. I think in all 3 games, I think you've had 4 scorers in double figures in each one. And you talked about sharing the ball. Was that just a philosophy that you've been able to work with the talent level you guys have on this year's team instead of in the past, whether it was Kendra Wyckoff or Emily Mayer that kind of would lead the team in scoring most often? But last year you did have a few games where other people rose up. So
yeah, of course. I think you ask any coach, and they would prefer having more consistent scores from more people as opposed to having 1 or 2 that really stand out. I think from a defensive perspective, if you're looking at that, if you say, I think we can take 1 or 2 people away, you can really focus on them. And more often than not, you're going to beat that team. If we can get consistent scoring, as you mentioned, double-figure scoring from numerous people, I think that makes us more difficult to defend, and then makes us more difficult to beat. And we've been able to do that. We've got good talent. We've got good talent up and down the roster. I think we've got a good bench. Our bench scoring has been really good in these games, and I think those things combined make us a tough team maybe to prepare for in some ways, because you really don't know where the scoring is going to come from. And it's really nice from a coaching perspective having that talent up and down the roster.
you guys have a fairly young roster, but you do have kind of a steady group of higher ups, juniors and seniors, especially the senior class. But your freshmen have come in and made immediate impact. Is that something that you were counting on, or has it kind of been a nice added surprise?
A little bit of both. We were counting on that and expecting that, but it's not just this year. I mean, we've had freshmen come in and do extremely well in the time I've been here. We've had numerous freshman of the year people, and so it's not something new. I think what's a little bit maybe new this year is that we're getting contributions from numerous freshmen.
Right.
I think that's probably the difference. So I think as a class, yeah, I mean it was expected to some degree and certainly needed. But the consistency has been nice. And I know we're only 3 games in, so it's hard to tell. But I certainly like where we're going so far. The mix has been good. As you mentioned, we've got really, really solid returning players who have just been done a great job in their leadership roles and really doing things well on and off the floor. And that makes things pretty easy for a new class to come in and say, okay, this is how things are done. And this is how we need to go about our business. So very pleased with how things are going so far, and certainly contributions from everybody up and down the roster.
And what are you looking for out of your team tonight and kind of even on Saturday before you guys head back out on their own for a tough conference matchup next weekend?
Sure. I think the keys for us always is going to be how intense are we on the defensive end and how well are we rebounding. I mean, I think if we do those couple of things, everything else seems to fall into place. If we're defending well, our offense seems to go better. We get maybe better opportunities, but if we're always taking the ball out of the basket on the defensive side, things don't go as well. So I think if we can do those 2 things, looking at that specifically for tonight, then tonight will be a different matchup. We'll see a team with Mayville State that has always been very, very high scoring, and they typically play a lot of 2-3 matchup zones. So that'll be something different for us as well. So it'll be a different look for us, but again, any opportunity before conference is a great opportunity, and we're certainly looking forward to it tonight.
And kind of talking, going towards conference play, 2 more games added to the schedule, but kind of 4 at the same time. What is that going to take for you guys to come out with another conference championship in a very competitive UMAC, it seems, with St. Scholastica, obviously Northwestern, who you guys shared the conference title with, and a newcomer, Wisconsin Superior?
Yeah, you mentioned 3, but the talent up and down, I mentioned talent on our roster up and down is pretty good. I think the talent in the whole conference is really, really good. You look at a team like Bethany Lutheran, incredibly improved this year. They've had great games. Martin Luther brought everybody back. I think the teams like Crown and Northland, those teams are continuously getting better. North Central. So it's going to be a very, very tough conference schedule. I think the days of a no loss or 1 loss, maybe even a 2-loss conference champion, I think those days are done. I think it'll be much more likely that 3 and 4 losses might still get you the conference crown. And you know, we've been very fortunate to have a good run here recently where we haven't lost many conference games. Right. But I think just the way the league is going, that the teams are getting better and better. You know, we're going to see more losses, I think, out of the conference champion this year than we have in the past, and it's going to be very competitive. It's going to lead to some great games and some exciting weekends, both home and on the road, and we're certainly looking forward to that.
And you see that going forward helping you guys when you get into postseason play? I think maybe on the men's side, if we take a look at that conference has kind of had a lot more parity, if you want to say, and then you saw Northwestern get to the Sweet 16 last year, and they seem to be doing really well this year. Do you see that the tough conference schedule is going to help you guys when you go back into NCAA tournament play, whether it's you guys or someone else in the conference, and now you go and pick up some wins there?
I certainly do. I think it's the better as a whole that our conference can get, the more opportunity we'll have in postseason play. And with the addition of Wisconsin Superior, a team that won their league last year, just a really great addition to our league, and a team that's going to make all the rest of us really step up our games in a lot of ways. So I do think it's gonna make the season much more exciting, and I think it will, as you mentioned, I think lead to potential success for us in the postseason, whoever the UMAC representative might be at the end of the season.
All right, well, thanks for joining us, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.